I'm going to read that again. For those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength, shall mount up wings like eagles, they shall run and not be weary, they shall walk and not faint. Doesn't say those who outrun God. Doesn't say for those that will do God's work for God. Those who wait. We got a problem with waiting on God. I'm just going to throw my argument out from the very beginning. There's a problem that we have about waiting on God. And I've been trying to figure out, Pastor Jackson, what's our struggle with waiting. The way I approach it, I look at myself first. When my 6-year-old baby was born, and we had to select a pediatrician. Come on, Reverend. We selected a man by the name of James Count, who showed up at the hospital side. So this was my 3rd baby. So I had just gotten back to Memphis. And I was looking at him the way I look at folks sometimes. As he came in and examined my little girl, and began to tell me all about him and his practice. And he started off the conversation by saying, I'm not the pediatrician for everybody. That kind of got my attention. He said, I'm not the best pediatrician for everybody. And I asked him, what do you mean by that? He said, well, in my practice, I practice alone. I don't practice in a group. And so I have a large caseload. And so when you come to see me, it's going to take some time. It's going to take a minute when you come see me. So if you're in a hurry, I'm not your pediatrician. I'm not a good one for you. I looked at him funny. So there's got to be a benefit of why I want to wait in your office. To go see a doctor, you usually get their doctors are trained to only give you 20 minutes. They're supposed to come in, say hello, see how you're doing, tell you what's wrong, and be out in 20 minutes to go off to the next person in order to make a profitable venture. Well, Colin said, I take longer than 20 minutes. So when you come in, I'm going to check on the baby. I'm also going to check on you too. I'm going to see how you do. And if you get there at 9 o'clock and you're scheduled to be there at 9:30, I got 4 of the patients before you, but because I take my time with everybody that comes in the practice, I may not make a 9:30 appointment for you. But if you wait on it, I guarantee that I'm going to take care of your child, give her the best physical, take care, that you'll never worry about what I'm trying to tell you. You would think that that's a good argument, but I had a problem with that. I'm busy. I'm used to saying, hey, I need to be there at 9:30, you be here at 9:30. And I didn't like Callie at first. Because just after I had to sit and wait on them. Folks in there, they waiting on them, I'm waiting on them. My child is sick, but other children are sick, just as important as my situation. But the waiting process didn't make sense to me until my daughter got a staph infection. And she got a staph infection, and it was the worst thing. You ever see your baby get sick and not be able to do anything about it? It puts you in a humble position, a powerless position. She's sick, saying, Daddy, I can't fix it, nothing I can do about it. Help me. Daddy, I'm not a doctor. And as she sat there, and this huge infection had become a huge cyst, and I had to take her to get seen. My child knows who she asked for. Dr. Cal. said, Daddy, take me to see my pediatrician. 3-year-old. And so when I took her back that time and she went in, she got up on the table herself without being prodded. She laid down when Dr. Cowley came in and showed him exactly where it hurt. Dr. Cowley came in and did what he had to do, and she took a shot. Not one, but 3. She took him massaging the tender area. And I'm sitting there watching the child who screamed and kicked and fought every time she went to the pediatrician's office. But when her situation got bad enough, she got up on the table and laid there and said, Dr. Cowley, help me. And the reason she got to that place, she had gotten secure. Because in the moments that we had been taking her there before, he had been taking his time with her. He had been developing a relationship with her. He had been asking her how she was doing. He wanted to know what her day was like. He wanted to know what she was learning in school. Had nothing to do, I thought, to the medical situation, but it had everything to do in times of trouble. I had to learn how to wait. I had to learn on a 3-year-old. My argument is that we don't know how to wait on God. And many of us are just like me, sitting in the waiting room waiting for my turn to be blessed. Just bless me right now. And so I'm trying to figure out, this is the Advent season. The beginning of the season when we look with anticipation toward the birth of our Jesus Christ. But for some reason we turn it into microwave waiting, irritated waiting in a waiting room in a doctor's office. We already know the answer. We already know we get the iPad for Christmas. We already know what we're going to get from our spouse. We already know. And so all this time in between is just wasting of our energy. But we ain't excited about it no more. Christmas just come and it goes. We didn't forget what it's all about. There's too much waiting. All we want to do is skip past December 1st. Skip past December 4th. Skip past December 10th. Skip past December 17th. Just take me to the 25th so I can open up my gift. Irritated about waiting. Because we think we know the answer. And I ask myself, why do I struggle with it? But then I also had to go back to the 1995 Terry McMillan movie, Waiting to Exhale. Y'all saw that. Y'all know y'all saw that movie. 4 African American women that were frustrated with the relationships that they had. And the problem was that none of the men seemed to measure up to their expectations. So the movie premise was that they waited, the right man would show up on them. But the movie was full of their inability to wait on the right one and their ability to try to manipulate the situation so they can figure out who the right one is on their own time. The classic scene, the woman burned up all the man's clothes in the top. She had a problem about waiting on what God was. So she couldn't wait on God, so therefore